Good morning, this is the Goddess coming to you with another video. And I would like to say good morning to each and every one of you. Let's get started.
In front of a massive video screen, Putin revealed
And this was started in 2016.
several weapon systems. Among them, illustrations of a new ICBM, a new cruise missile, and a nuclear torpedo that can cross oceans. The point of all of them, to dodge detection, evade missile defenses. And even if it was watched closely by defense experts the world over, and it surely was, the first audience was domestic. As Chris Brown tells us from Moscow, this is an election year.
To hear Vladimir Putin tell it, the cruise missile carried by this rocket is basically unstoppable. Flying at 20 times the speed of sound, it can zig and zag and deliver a nuclear warhead to any target in the world. It goes like a meteorite to its target, boasted Putin, like a fireball.
Нас никто не слушал.
Then, in reference to the United States pulling out of the anti-ballistic missile treaty, Putin added ominously, "They kept ignoring us, so listen to us now." It was a provocative Cold War-style threat, and the audience of lawmakers and business leaders loved it. They gathered for the annual State of the Nation address, but with a presidential election in just a few weeks, it was also a chance for Russians to hear what they can expect from 6 more years of Putin. And the answer was clearly a bigger, more aggressive military. I hope all the things I have said today will sober up any potential aggressor, including expanding NATO or moving it closer to our borders. It is a certainty.
Putin seemed to be ready since 2016-17. A lot of people, excuse me, I guess totally, he's been ready for a moment now. So let me try to introduce the cause and effect to all of this, the root of it all, and what this is allegedly is all about. Let me get started here. Just bear with me for a moment here. Let me just they've been really busy over the years with this war and all. The Iranian, what is it? That president, the Ukrainian president, has, and the Putin, they had a close relationship, but I guess somewhere down the line, that relationship became strained, and this is where we are with this situation now, that they're ready to go to war, and this fight is really something serious. It's serious. They're not really playing. So let's get into this.
What is happening in that collider is an astounding thing. So I want to read something to you this morning from what's called a theoretical physicist. This man, his name is Stephen Hawking. He's well known throughout the world. Anyone that has anything to do with nuclear energy or has anything to do with physics knows this man. And he is one that some rate even on the level of Einstein and of that level. And so I want to read you what this man has to say about what's happening right now in CERN, Switzerland. Listen carefully. These are the words of Stephen Hawking. He recently warned the reactivation in March of CERN's Large Hadron Collider could pose grave dangers to our planet. The ultimate reality, check, we are warned. Hawking has come straight out and said, the God particle, and this is what you've heard referred to time and again as the Higgs boson particle, the God particle found by CERN could destroy the universe. Now, let that settle in. This man is an atheist, and he says there is no God. Yet he says that what's happening right now in Cern, Switzerland, and I'll give you what they're trying to do in a moment, what's happening at this very minute in Cern, Switzerland, has the potential to destroy the universe. This is a theoretical physicist. Now, physicists come in all kinds of sizes. Astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson has also sounded the alarm in a hypothetical manner by telling anyone who might want to blow up a planet how to do so is this CERN's attempt to do so by attempting to recreate the Big Bang within a man-made structure. This has frightened Stephen Hawking so much. Do they know that they know that they know what they are doing? Ask yourself, how much energy is keeping it together? Neil deGrasse Tyson told co-host Eugene Merman on his Star Talk radio show, then you put more than that amount of energy into the object, it will explode. Now I think I've got your attention. I've quoted two physicists. These are scientists. These men do not agree with what's happening in Cern, Switzerland right now. There is a 17-mile long accelerator that lies 300 feet beneath the surface of the ground. This area is where France and Switzerland come together. So part of this accelerator is located in France and part of it in Switzerland. It is a joint European project. The United States of America is there as an observer, but the brain power that's going in to this experimentation originates in Europe. They are attempting to recreate what they believe happened that brought all of this into existence as being the Big Bang. Now you I know from the book of Genesis chapter number 1 that in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. He spoke it into existence. They are finding things, and this is what's important for us to understand today. They are discovering things that they did not expect to discover as they get deeper and deeper into this experimentation and development, research, and so forth. They are beginning to find out that there is a whole lot more to the creation than they had ever given thought to before. They're beginning to find out that there's something going on here that boggles the human mind, that literally blows us apart when we try to even comprehend what's happening. This 17-mile long underground tube that is located there in Switzerland has, I think, 4 or 5 different points where they collide with, some say, protons and maybe something else,
Neutrons.
but particles that are being moved at or above the speed of light inside this collider. Now, for your information, there is one near us in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, but it is not nearly as large as what we're dealing with here. And apparently, the larger the collider, the more speed that they can attain, and the more they're able to get deeper into what they're looking for.
Excuse me just a moment, please. Because what they're looking for, it goes something like this. Let me hold on for a second. They're looking for something that is very important to the Russian and all of those over in the Middle East and also the United States as well. And this is very important to them. And as we explore
We found
this
the
together.
locations of many ancient doorways that seem to serve no purpose, at least not in modern times. Though many theorists have begun to wonder if such doorways may have once been used by humans or giants as a way to travel through different dimensions, maybe even to other planets.
And as we just heard what that was all about, we're just going to continue where we left off, try and understand what is the big fuss that they have going on. Why are they so angry? This is very important because we have another system that is coming into play, and it seems like everybody is pressed for time, and everybody is like in an extreme hurry to get this done before the arrival.
And so what these people are doing with the collider is destroying what comes together, but for the purpose of recreating and find out what brought it into existence to begin with. Are you following me? Yeah. Now here we have men that are scientists on an average of an IQ of anywhere from 160 to 200 or even above. These are some of the smartest brains in all the world. No question about it whatsoever. I pick up physicists and try to read some of this stuff. I think, good night. Forget me. That's for a brain that is wired that way. No question. But we were told when Darwin's theory of evolution came out and became vogue that it would destroy the foundations of Christianity, and this old book that we hold in our hands, this old outdated Bible, would no longer be relevant, and a lot of people bought into it. Because after all, Darwin is scientific. But it's an amazing thing now that 150 years later, we have some of the greatest scientists in the world that are becoming very religious. Because here they've got Shiva, they've got dances to Shiva, and they are definitely being connected with Shiva as they're finding things. Let me give you one example. In one of their collisions, when they collided these particles together, they saw things.
And I'm just going to keep this all together here, because we really do need to understand what did they see come out of this. It's very important to understand what's going on, because what's going on has something to do with you, me, and everyone else. It's very important why we're basically going to war here. This third war here could be something
Turn
else.
all around us. We found the locations of many ancient doorways that seem to serve no purpose, at least not in modern times.
Though
many theorists have begun to wonder if such doorways may have once been used by humans or giants as a way to travel through different dimensions, maybe even to other planets. Whatever the case may be, there's a lot about history that has yet to be discovered. Today, we'll be looking at...
Have they discovered history? Do they know something that we don't know? Or do they know something that they think we don't know? Everyone is aboard and on.
And so what these people are doing with the collider is destroying what comes together, but for the purpose of recreating and find out what brought it into existence to begin with. Are you following me? Yeah. Now here we have men that are scientists on an average of an IQ of anywhere from 160 to 200 or even above. These are some of the smartest brains in all the world. No question about it whatsoever. I pick up physicists and try to read some of this stuff. I think, good night. Forget me. That's for a brain that is wired that way. No question, it's out the window. They don't understand. They have a hard time accepting the fact that there is a spirit world out there. That spirit world was created by a spirit being, an almighty, eternal, absolute being that is from everlasting to everlasting, who put in me what I am today by the power of Almighty God and by the power of the new birth.
That is absolutely true. Tennessee, are you paying attention?
All demonic. It's real, but it's demonic. It's not real like we understand reality, but it's really real. Will open the gate of hell on this earth. And according to Revelation chapter number 9, these beings are coming up out of the earth. If you remember when Saul went to the witch of Endor, she said, I saw a spirit coming up out of the earth, coming up. What did she see? She saw demons.
Come on, sir, tell us about what you're finding.
Until God brought Samuel back himself, personally, the real Samuel, who appeared before Saul and the witch of Endor. What would be a greater ruse than to use their science and their technology to suck them in to accepting some spirit being coming from somewhere up here, some alien, down to this earth, and do it through a collider over here. This is as high technology I suppose you got on this earth. And do it through that and bring it down upon this earth and bring it into people. Now, here's one of the things about this. This antimatter is also called dark matter.
Mm-hmm.
And dark matter has energy attached to it. And the energy affects people. It affects them. And remember, when you produce antimatter, you got to contain it. Because if you don't contain it, you got to contain it. That's the biggest problem, containing it. Because if you don't contain it,
Gonna have a lot of violence on the planet.
it just goes wild. And they don't know what it's liable to do. Now, folks, go check me out. Go check me out. I want you to. Go check me out this afternoon and see what it says about antimatter. And it'll say, yes, you better contain it. Because you don't know what it's liable to do. But they do know this. From what they've experienced so far, it has an effect on people. Dark matter has an effect on people. It causes some people to go screaming mad. It controls people. It is an enormously powerful thing. It's pulling something out of hell that you don't want any part to do with and turning it loose on mankind. Now, I don't know that.
I want you to pay attention, rappers, people that listen to rap music.
I don't ever been in agreement with an atheist before, but I'm in agreement with this one. I and Mr. Hawking see it the same way. They better leave that stuff alone.
Yeah.
Now, let's make sense of it for you right now. It's 2015. The church is dead and asleep. The only way the only crowds you have in this country today are the crowds that are pumped up by rock and rap,
Awesome.
and it's all about love, self-love, and positive attitudes, and money and me, myself and I.
Is this what dark matter is doing?
In love with me, I'm in love with myself, and I'm in love with I. And your wife says, I know you are, and that's why I'm leaving. That's the truth. You ought to write a book about 15 ways to love yourself. It'd sell like you wouldn't believe. Absolutely. That's all it is. It's a joke. Just a big joke. You know that.
Y'all are a joke. Allegedly, to him.
It's just a big joke. All right. You've got the people to the point to where they can be moved emotionally. Not intellectually, but emotionally. Anything stirs people today. They got crowd mentality. They got mob mentality. Can you imagine something that has created earthquakes? That has made apparitions appear? That you've got scientists warning, don't do this? You don't know what you're going to unleash? Maybe there's a greater purpose in all of that they're not even aware of. He's called Satan. Maybe he intends to bring chaos on this earth. Chaos. And you know the old saying? How does it go? What's the term? Order out of chaos? I forget the Latin terminology for it. Order out.
Let's find out what the terminology is out of order and chaos. Let's go up here and let's just find out what is he talking about. Biden. We're going to find out just what CERN and everybody knows. And I'm going to do this right away. Here we go. Russian military has been ready since 2016. When they had that eclipse there in 16, and strange things started to happening. Things came through that eclipse right there. A lot of things. There was a big shift. And people are getting ready because we have something that is coming in that is going to shake the core, the souls of everyone that is not prepared. Let's hear what Biden has to say. His combat, his defense to Russia. President Putin.
Begun a brutal assault on the people of Ukraine. Without provocation, without justification, without necessity. This is a premeditated attack. Vladimir Putin has been planning this for months, as we've been saying all along. He moved more than 175,000 troops, military equipment, and positions along the Ukrainian border. He moved blood supplies into position and built a field hospital, which tells you all you need to know about his intentions all along. Putin is the aggressor. Putin chose this war, and now he and his country will bear the consequences. Today, I'm authorizing additional strong sanctions and new limitations on what can be exported to Russia. This is going to impose severe cost on the Russian economy, both immediately and over time. We have purposely designed these sanctions to maximize the long-term impact on Russia and to minimize the impact on the United States and our allies. I just spoke with the G7 leaders this morning, and we're in full and total agreement. We will limit Russia's ability to do business in dollars, euros, pounds, and yen to be part of the global economy.
Планирующим крылатым блоком.
In front of a massive video screen, Putin revealed several weapon systems. Among them, illustrations of a new ICBM, a new cruise missile, and a nuclear torpedo that can cross oceans. The point of all of them, to dodge detection, evade missile defenses. And even if it was watched closely by defense experts the world over, and it surely was, the first audience was domestic. As Chris Brown tells us from Moscow, this is an election year.
To hear Vladimir Putin tell it, the cruise missile carried by this rocket is basically unstoppable. Flying at 20 times the speed of sound, it can zig and zag and deliver a nuclear warhead to any target in the world.
Система отличается способностью совершать полеты.
It goes like a meteorite to its target, boasting.
Didn't they fly those things here deep down in the ocean through the United States? Didn't Biden come through the United States unannounced in 2016 to check the territory out? Or did he not?
Putin like a fireball.
Нас никто не слушал.
Then, in reference to the United States pulling out of the anti-ballistic missile treaty, Putin added ominously, "They kept ignoring us, so listen to us now." It was a provocative Cold War-style threat, and the audience of lawmakers and business leaders loved it. They gathered for the annual State of the Nation address, but with a presidential election in just a few weeks, it was also a chance for Russians to hear what they can expect from 6 more years of Putin. And the answer was clearly a bigger, more aggressive military.
любого потенциального агрессора.
I hope all the things I have said today will sober up any potential aggressor, including expanding NATO or moving it closer to our borders.
Well, you have heard what was going on and what is going on with the United Nations, and they're at war, right? And nothing is going to stop this because, yeah.
If you've thought about
It's like everybody has an agenda that has to be completed at an appointed time. And here we go.
Other dimensions scattered all around us. We found the locations of many ancient doorways that seem to serve no purpose, at least not in modern times. Though many theorists have begun to wonder if such doorways may have once been used by humans or giants as a way to travel through different dimensions, maybe even to other planets. Whatever the case may be, there's a lot about history that has yet to be discovered. Today, we'll be looking at several mysterious portals that may lead to another dimension. Before we get started, be sure to hit that like button and
These people are trying to get up out of here, allegedly. They want to, explore other possibilities. And they seem like they have a short amount of time. Check this one out.
On where you see the animal head on the human body, but then also in like the Sphinx, you'll see it.
Only one thing that they're missing is the Ankh.
Symbolism that's easy to see.
When they get that Ankh and match it up with these portals and try to get the right code, and perhaps they can leave like they're planning to, because they're pressed for time. We have something coming in and they're trying to get out. People are fully prepared. They're in underground bunkers, food, what have you. And this is where we are right now. Is no one, this war here has been, the tension has been really high because they're in search, and everybody wants to be the first one to say, I discovered this or that. Well, this is the Goddess, and I am signing out. And thank you for tuning in. Hit the like, subscribe, and you guys have a beautiful morning, and stay safe, and just always know that you need to always be prepared, because we have this going on and we don't know where it's going to take us. So peace out. Tap in with you later. God bless.